In the church of St. Peter in Gallicantu, St. Peter of the Cock Crow in Jerusalem, there are three rather wonderful icons. They are modern, placed there as part of the relatively recent restoration. They tell the story of Peter from the moment of his betrayal of the Lord through to his encounter with the risen Christ on the shore of Galilee, where Peter asks him 3 times, "Do you love me?" One of these 3 icons depicts Peter weeping, his reaction to the realization of what he has done in denying his Lord. Despite his protestations at the Last Supper, as Jesus foretold, he has denied his Lord 3 times. The Gospels tell us Peter went outside and wept bitterly. The icon shows Peter sitting outside a cave. Peter is shown against a black background, for he is, as we would say today, in a very dark place. This is the same Peter whom Jesus chooses. Peter's faith is to be the rock on which the church is built. Peter, the impetuous man who so often misses the point. Only a few verses later in Matthew's account, Jesus is telling Peter to get behind him, for Peter cannot accept the possibility of the Lord's death. Peter goes from a wonderful profession of faith that we hear in this Sunday's Gospel to failing to understand altogether. He is a man who is full of frailty, yet the Lord chooses him. The Lord's wisdom is beyond our understanding, as St. Paul reminds us in the letter to the Romans. How then does the Lord see us? He sees beyond what we see in ourselves. He understands more than we understand about ourselves. We are frail, weak human beings, but the Lord will call us to do his work, even though we are not always ready and do not always understand. Let us then place our confidence and trust in him. He knows us better than we know ourselves, and he calls us to be his and to be his instruments for the world he loves.